In 2016, Turkey signed an accord with the European Union in stemming migration across its border into Greece.
Our objective is to discourage illegal migration.
Since then, the Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan has threatened again and again to open his border with Greece, allowing a human wave into Greece and Europe.
We are at the Greek borders. As you can see behind us, they are closed since last Saturday. You see, Greece faces once again a new influx from Turkey. More than 32,000 immigrants were prevented from crossing the borders by the Greek authorities and the Greek army.
Biz 8 yıldır Suriye'den kaçmak zorunda kalan bu mültecileri.
To remember that from the EU's perspective, the refugee situation inside Turkey has not changed because those Syrians displaced from Idlib province, they haven't come into Turkey. If we show you the border between Turkey and Syria, what's happened is that those internally displaced Syrians that have fled Idlib, they're still on the Syrian side of the border because that Turkish-Syrian border you can see in red there, it's been closed effectively since 2015. It hasn't reopened.
You see how the whole thing begins. We go back a few days when Erdogan promises to the immigrants that were in Turkey that they were able freely to cross the Greek borders because the borders were open. Of course, that was a big lie, but that didn't stop thousands of immigrants to come to the borders. On top of that, he helped them their transportation. He used buses and any kind of transportation to bring them safely to the borders.
On February 29, 2020, he made good of this threat. The number of refugees and migrants that has amassed on the border was so large that Greece cannot identify or classify them. Are the immigrants, refugees, from where and going where? Urged by Turkish news and Turkish authorities, thousands of immigrants and refugees came to the border and became effectively trapped between Turkey and Europe. They were not allowed to cross or to return to Turkey. What happened then? It wasn't the reaction someone expects from refugee families, desperate and tired. It was an obvious attempt of invasion from those who act more like soldiers than next-door peaceful neighbors.
The borders are guarded well, the people are here, and security has been increased. Our troops will do whatever is needed to guard Greece's borders.
Those that have entered Greek territory have been arrested and detained.
Greece is the border of the European Union. This border is the responsibility of Greece to monitor and guard.
Πρόκειται για ένα πάρα πολύ καλά οργανωμένο σχέδιο με το οποίο πιέζουν τις μεταναστευτικές ροές να περάσουν στην Ελλάδα. Τούρκοι κατακρυγόνα, τις σκάλες, τα λεωφορεία, τα ταξί και οτιδήποτε μπορεί να φέρει τους μετανάστες στα σύνορά μας και να τους πιέσει να περάσουν στο εσωτερικό της χώρας. Δική μας δουλειά είναι να σταματήσουμε αυτή την τεράστια ροή και κανένας να μην περάσει παράνομα στη χώρα. Allahu Akbar alaikum!
Meanwhile, Turkish media provides continuous false footage from the site. Sadly, some of humanitarian organizations and international media just copy-paste those false information, showing, for example, families suffering at the borders from the brutality of Greece. Here you can see the brutal methods used by Greece to prevent the attack of tear gas and chemicals, and also the illegal entry into the country.
Over 13,000 migrants from multiple nations have amassed along the boundary after Turkey opened its borders to the European Union. With Turkish President Erdogan hinting many more are on the way, the situation has prompted the EU to send reinforcements to help Greek and Bulgarian authorities.
Your presence today is a clear manifestation that Europe is here.
What Turkey and the pro-Turkish media never show is that the unacceptable participation, if not the organized attack by the Turkish troops. The images speak for themselves and clearly show that those who attack with weapons and systematically are neither refugees nor immigrants, but Turkish police and military.
Greece is really in a difficult position. I mean, it has, of course, used this very forceful response, which have earned it criticism. But at the same time, Greece knows that it is basically now the only thing stopping migrants and/or refugees from going into other EU countries.
This is no longer a refugee problem. This is a blatant attempt by Turkey to use desperate people to promote its geopolitical agenda and to divert attention from the horrible situation in Syria. The tens of thousands of people.
First of all, let's be clear that what we're dealing with at the crisis right now, the border, is a matter of migrants, which is really a euphemism for illegal aliens. They don't have the right to be there, as opposed to refugees, who do have rights under international agreements when they leave a non-safe country and go into a safe country. That safe country has an obligation to protect refugees. Migrants don't have their rights. They're looking for economic opportunity, but they don't have the right to walk into Greece, Bulgaria, or any other EU country, nor does Turkey have the right to declare an open border. An open border is declared by both sides of the border, not just one. So we have an artificial crisis over here that's been manufactured by Turkey because of the problems they're having around Idlib.
Και να σας πω ότι οι ελληνικές ανησυχίες είναι δικές μας ανησυχίες. Τα σύνορα αυτά δεν είναι μόνο ελληνικά σύνορα, είναι και ευρωπαϊκά σύνορα και βρίσκομαι εδώ σήμερα ως Ευρωπαία.
Today is the 8th day since the beginning of the crisis between Turkey and Greece, right here at the borders in Evros area. One would expect a Turkish expulsion by now and the immigrants to retreat back to the inland, the Turkish inland, of course. That didn't happen. It's exactly the opposite. Turkey manages to escalate the crisis on a daily basis. And today we've seen some increase of the Turkish police forces. The scenes you see do not show any refugee or immigrant trying with respect to seek asylum in a safe country. What you're seeing is an open and provocative attack by the Turkish army and police. These are not refugees, nor are you the ones who would like them to come to your own country. Turkish media show families with children, with babies, images with which all humanity can sympathize. But what we, our team, have seen is not a sympathetic image at all. We have seen the Turkish police lob tear gas across the border to the Greek side, supplying selected groups of migrants with whatever they need to destroy the border fence, allowing thousands into Greece. Their cries are not those of despair or even of the joy of entering a free Europe. They are the battle cries of a war threatening Greece and Europe. We will burn you. We will kill you. Those were some of the screams we heard over and over.
Λοιπόν, σας ενημερώσουμε ότι καμημένοι Έλληνες δεν μας ανοίγουν τα σύνορα Για ποιο λόγο δεν ξέρω, έτσι. Σας ενημερώσουμε ότι θα περάσουμε τα σύνορα και όλα θα πάνε καλά, ρε. Θέλουν, δεν θέλουν να τις γαμίσουμε, έτσι. Πάμε, άντε. Σαλάμ αλέικουμ.
Human Rights Watch is an international non-governmental, non-profit organization headquartered in New York. Its mission is to conduct research and advocacy on human rights internationally. One would expect this organization to go to the border to see, as first-hand witnesses, just what is happening, to witness as unbiased bystanders the records of events, then report what is truly in progress on both sides of the border. We were anticipating their reporting, trusting their reputation. But this didn't happen. They issuing a report on the situation. Their report was based on the silence of Athens and the European Union and the noise promoted by Ankara. They issued blame against Greece based on the sympathetic lies of Turkey. Unfortunately, they failed on their reputation and their prestige. Gladly, we are not the only ones to believe that their reports are based on non-existent research on the statements of witnesses whose stories cannot be verified. The founder of Human Rights Watch, Robert Bernstein, accused the organization of poor research methods and relying on witnesses whose stories cannot be verified. In October 2009, the founder of Human Rights Watch, Robert Bernstein, said that the organization had lost critical perspective on events in the Middle East. According to the Times, Human Rights Watch does not always practice the transparency, tolerance, and accountability it urges on others. The Human Rights Watch has violated the rights of Greece and Europe to protect their borders from the illegal entry by force of thousands of immigrants. For a whole month, Greece withstood those exactions. Attempts continue on a daily basis to cross the border from Turkey. For a month, Greece has been attacked by the Turkish authorities and is no longer an attempt by immigrants to cross the border, but the Turkish war against Greece systematically and continuously. Greece has shown once again superiority, proudness, self-sacrifice, and a passion to uphold justice. From the ordinary citizens who applaud those who guard Thermopylae to the uniformed guards, they are defending the borders of their homeland.
Ευχαριστούμε πολύ.
In a geographical area exactly at the beginning of the land of Hellas.
Είμαστε στον Εβρου, στα σύνορα, στην τοποθεσία Καστανιές. Παλιά, όταν κάποιος ερχόταν φαντάρος εδώ, οι φίλοι του και συγγενείς του χαριτολογώντας έλεγαν ότι πηγαίνει στην Πινέζα. Τι εννοούσαν με αυτό? Ότι κάποτε, για να σταθεροποιήσουν ένα χάρτη στο σχολείο ή στο σπίτι, βάζαν μια πινέζα επάνω. Στο σημείο λοιπόν που βάζαν την πινέζα, γιατί είναι το πιο ψηλό σημείο της Ελλάδος, εκεί είναι ο Εβρου. Και κάποιοι θυμίζουν ότι εάν βγάλεις, λένε, αυτή την πινέζα, πέφτει ο χάρτης, πέφτει ο χάρτης, πέφτει και η Ελλάδα.